Hello and welcome to day 84 of Yoga for Dad. This is for my dad, in memory of my dad, to bring awareness to mental health and addiction. So for today's Storytime Sunday, I'd like to talk a little bit about my granny. And the story is going to include my dad a little bit too. But to give you some background information, so my granny is my dad's grandmother, so my great-grandmother. She's originally from New Orleans, Creole woman. And when I knew her, she lived in Los Angeles, the little rough part of LA, but she was a savvy lady. So everyone around there pretty much respected her, and even the people that were a little bit rough around the edges took care of her. She loved playing bingo, and she would swindle anyone out of $1 to go play bingo. And she also loved her dog Fifi. So my granny always had this little white poodle called Fifi. Super smart doggy. I remember him just being able to ring the bell on the door, and then Granny would open the door and he'd go outside, do his business, and come back in. And he'd do his business like in the front yard, not even in the backyard. So he was okay. Like, he knew not to go in the street. He knew not to wander around. He was like a street smart dog. And then he'd come back in whenever he was done. He was not a small dog. She used to feed him everything. And Granny had a sweet tooth, so she always had candy around. She always had condensed milk. I remember her always having condensed milk on the kitchen table. Maybe that's just my memory, but I remember her having condensed milk on the kitchen table. And so she just had a sweet tooth, and she shared it with Fifi. He had candy, she had candy. He was so round that he would waddle. And, he should have been able to just jump on the couch. He could not, because he was just so round. But he was just this great dog. He was super smart, would follow Granny around, we'd see him whenever we come over. And, I'd see him whenever I'd come over, like, I'm telling you, when I was little, all the way up until she passed and I was like a teenager. And, one day I was talking to my dad and I was like, dang, Dad, like, Fifi, I can't believe Fifi must be ancient by now. And he kind of just stopped and looked at me. I think he had a little bit of sympathy in his eyes, and he was like, baby, that is not the same dog. I was crushed. I seriously thought that was the same dog. Now, my granny was like recycling Fifi's. I had no idea. I didn't even get to mourn the first one or the second one. They just kept on coming, and I had no idea. She just had like a train of Fifi's. And that was Granny. That was Granny. She had her Fifi's. And I guess I should have known that. How could a dog live that long, right? But I was completely oblivious that was a different dog. Who knows how many Fifi? So I was just checking in with my auntie just now, and she told me that, and she just sent me a picture, the picture that I'm showing you over here, of Fifi, and this is a black Fifi. So I guess it's my bad. Like, they were two different colors. How was I supposed to know? Maybe it's because I was just young and I didn't realize, but you're not supposed to name your dog the same name. It's very confusing. It's very confusing. So I hope you enjoyed this Storytime Sunday. If you are enjoying this Yoga Dad journey, please subscribe, like, and share. And I will see you again tomorrow.